Hi, welcome to another episode of Blah Blah Blah. It's been a while since I've done one of these. I want to talk about retro gaming stores here in Brisbane and the Gold Coast. 12 months ago, I went down to the Gold Coast with my wife and daughter for a holiday, and we came across a store in Robina called Super Retro. They had a lot of great retro games going from the NES all the way through to modern day systems, Master System as well. But one thing that really surprised me when I went there 12 months ago was sun damage games. This store is down on the ground floor. I guess in the afternoon, it's getting the afternoon, the afternoon sun, or maybe in the morning sun, coming into that store. I remember a lot of the Master System games back then were so heavily sun damaged. Fast forward to 12 months. We went down there while I was on holidays. Went down the Gold Coast, went to Burleigh Heads, the beach there, Burleigh Beach. Really great there. Then we headed off to the, I think it's Australia Fair. I know there's a Pacific Fair and Australia Fair shopping centres there. I'm pretty sure it's Australia Fair. Amazing shopping centre. The shopping centres down the Gold Coast look way better than what we have up here in Brisbane. But we had lunch down there and headed off to Super Retro. I haven't been there in 12 months. As soon as I walked in the door, my jaw dropped, my heart just sank. I walk in the door and there was the original Xbox games. The spines of these games were all heavily sun damaged. I took video footage of that. It just was like, how can a retro game store like that, like Super Retro, allow this to happen? It just doesn't make sense to me that they don't even tint the windows. And as I went around the store, I looked at the Master System stuff. That didn't look too heavily damaged from what I saw compared to last year. I actually picked up a Master System game, but when you look around at certain points of the store which isn't facing the sun, it looks okay. But another thing that really broke my heart, I didn't film this, I wish I would have, was they had moved from their front counter. Last year the Super Nintendo carts were more like facing the front counter when you went up to pay for stuff. This time they moved it around to the side so it was more directly in the sunlight. So all of these Super Nintendo carts, the stickers were all very heavily sun damaged, and consequently I didn't pick up some stuff there. I did pick up 2 games, but I'm not going to pick up stuff that is heavily sun damaged. Not to, I don't want to add that to the collection, especially the stuff like the Xbox stuff. Can you imagine the spines? You're having these nice pristine spines looking really great, then you have all these sun damaged ones. But I think they really need to do something about this. Walking into a retro store, you don't want to see that sort of stuff. You want to see these games. It doesn't matter if there's 100 copies of Halo or whatever it is. You want to see these games being preserved, and it just takes a little bit more care. Put some tinting in the windows. But to see those Super Nintendo games just all ruined because of the sun, and then it just doesn't, to me, it doesn't seem they really give a damn. And for a retro store, that's not a good look. When I go to Greenslopes here in Brisbane, I go to Eddie's store. That's all enclosed inside a shopping centre. It's a very basic looking store, but it's got stuff there that I'm more than happy to buy. But going down to the Gold Coast, the Super Retro, it is a hit and miss thing because of that. Looking around the store, you can see other sections are all in good condition. The glass case is up against the back wall. There was the original PlayStation games in there. There was PSP, Vita, Dreamcast games in there, Sega Saturn games, and some of the more expensive games you expect to see behind a glass case. Now, if they put these things down the front of the store, and these things, and they got sun damage, their value would just decrease tenfold, I would say. It's just crazy. But I really hope that one day they will do something about that, because as soon as I can do a post on Instagram showing that photo of those Xbox spines, I had a few people comment, Super Retro, yeah, it was, and we were like, oh my god, what are they doing? Why don't they give a damn about preserving their games, especially the Super Nintendo stuff. That was the thing. I wanted to pick up some stuff there, but I'm not going to pay good money for something that's been sun damaged because of that. But and that's another thing I've been thinking about with the EB games here in Australia. Look, this generation we're going into, this Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5, this without doubt is the last generation of gaming, I feel, that is going to be disc-based. We're going to go down the path after this next generation, all digital. I know that. So where does that leave EB Games, GameStop? And I was talking to one of the managers at EB Games, and they're kind of worried. They know where we're heading, and you can see that a lot of the EB Game stores are now combining with the Zing, which is merchandising. So I guess in the next 10 years or so, EB Games will just be maybe a merchandising store for gaming related stuff. That's never gonna disappear, I feel. It's never gonna go digital. That's one good thing. But I'm thinking, why don't they go retro again? Why don't they go back to doing retro stuff like Game Traders? Although Game Traders here in Australia is pretty much gone. They did a lot of retro stuff from what I remember, but maybe the EB Game stores need to condense only down into big shopping centers. I don't know, but I feel that to do the retro gaming, it may help them. It may help them because here in Brisbane, at least, we are seriously lacking any retro stores. We got Eddie's Retro, we got op shops, but they're always cleaned out. There are people out there that go buying stuff, really selling stuff, and for the rest of us, there's not much left to find, I feel. But go to Eddie's, it's great. You have to go all the way down the Gold Coast to go to a store that sells sun-damaged games. It's not a good thing. So to me, I feel like that could be the future of EB Games here in Australia, selling retro games. Surely they've probably got a ton load of old games that's sitting in a warehouse somewhere. You don't tell me they sold everything off over the years. But I feel that's the way they could go. They could survive. The digital, the way of the future is digital. We know that, and it's sad for me, a collector. They'll do the merchandising, but I think they need to go back into retro gaming because that is a massive market still. But we need more retro stores here in Brisbane. I feel I look at stuff in America. People doing pickups videos, going to retro stores. It just seems to be, they're everywhere. Here we got only one, and one down the Gold Coast. I feel that we need more, and I really hope that one day we will get that. But yeah, that's all I want to talk about today. Just those images of the Xbox games, and I wish I would have shot the footage of the Super Nintendo stuff. I didn't do that. I don't know why. I should have, but there was all sun damage, all those stickers. Oh, it's a shame, and they want top dollar for something that's been sun damaged. I'm not going to pay that. If they're not going to take the care, they should be taking the care for those retro games. But yeah, until next time, guys, thanks very much for watching. Leave a comment down below. What do you think of that? Seeing walking into a retro store, seeing the games heavily sun damaged. It's just, it shouldn't be happening in retro stores. It shows that there's little care taken. A little bit more care tending those windows would help that situation, I feel. So yeah, until next time, guys, bye.